What's up with it, y'all? It's your boy OT.
And Miss Dorothy.
And you are now tuned into
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Like, subscribe, and follow wherever you get your podcast from.
That's right, Otis. Whatever you say, Otis. Y'all ain't stupid. They coming to see me.
And we back yet again. Hey, Miss Dorothy.
Hey.
I got a good one for you today. This actually came from a brother from another. It says, remember, the Creator has ordered your steps and he didn't have to check in with us about whether we wanted to go through something or not. He has set certain things in motion with steps we go through. You just got to go with what comes to you, because boy, some things will come to you unexpectedly and you really just gotta roll with it. You just gotta go with it, because you never know, you never know what'll happen in life. You really don't know. And so sometimes you can't expect everything to be good, because as soon as everything gets to being good, everything will get bad.
It's gonna shake it up. There's gonna be something going on, for real.
So you definitely have to you just got to keep it pushing, keep it moving. Whatever comes to you, take that as a learning lesson. Don't be sitting there like, oh, I'm upset about it, I'm sad about it. Like, you can be upset, you can be sad, but things happen literally for a reason. Whether it's to wake you up, whether it's to break you up, or whether it is to make you up.
For sure. You got to take that pain and turn it, make it a lesson. Make it a lesson, because God ain't making you go through it for no reason.
Because honestly, when you messing up. That's one thing about it. Like 10 times out of 10, ain't no 9 times out of 9, because we ain't gonna do no 99. Like 10 times out of 10, like you seriously know when you are fucking up, or when you ain't doing right. Like, certain things in your life don't just happen because, oh, dang, I wasn't expecting that to happen. Like, you were, like, certain things are set up, like,
right.
In certain way you live your life and get up every morning. Like, if you have a routine, that can help you seriously not really mess up.
Exactly.
Because you're on that steady routine. But when you the moment you step out of character is the moment everything goes to SHIT.
Exactly. I mean, you got to do something that sucks every day, and that is how you grow.
Yeah.
That is how you grow. Seriously. Yes, it might feel bad in the moment. Yeah, you might be like, why is this happening to me? Oh my goodness, why am I going through this? Like, the universe is against me. So many people are against me. No, you got to look at self. Why are you going through all these things? What is it teaching you in that moment? You got to weather the storm. You got to weather the storm. You either going to go with it or you're going to get left.
Amen. I ain't going to lie to you, because man, it's been a trying year. That's all I'm going to say. And see, sometimes people can send you things and you don't need it for that day, but you'll go back and you'll read it. You be like, boy, hey, this message was for this day. Like, I went back and I found that, like, he will set things in your path, like, for you to either stop things or continue on your path to, greatness or whatever. But definitely when certain matters happen, you got to stop and you have to really reflect on your life and be like, okay, what am I doing wrong? What could I have did better? Like, some things before the storm comes, you will always know.
Exactly. You always gonna get those signs. Something's coming. And then it's in that moment that it happens, people, they just forget about everything. They forget about their character. Some people forget about their kids, their jobs, anything really, anything of value in that moment, and they act off of impulse. And I think this year, like you said, it's been a very trying year. But I think that 2023 is setting people up for a very valuable and wealthy 2024, whether that be monetary or...
I receive it. I need that right now, because, man.
It's all these... We're going through the trials. And it's all about what you take from it, how you handle it, and what you do.
Amen.
That's that.
Yeah, we just about to slide up into it. So, hey, if you ever need some motivation, just listen to that. I know I fumbled a little bit, so let me read it one more time for you. It says, remember, the Creator has ordered your steps, and He didn't have to check in with us about whether we wanted to go through something or not. He has set certain things in motion with steps we go through. We won't even see until He is ready for us to see it. All right, y'all, let's get into it. So here we go.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
What's up with it, y'all? I have your favorite bartender here with me. Say hello to them.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, bro. Yeah.
Hey. And I got my boy Trey, the podcast hopper, back with us. You know, Make sure. Go ahead.
Just make sure you say your favorite.
Fan favorite.
Fan favorite.
for
I'm
sure.
telling you, like, hey,
Don't start.
if Trey ain't on your podcast, you ain't had no podcast.
Yeah, no podcast without Trey.
Don't start.
I'm just saying, man. But yeah, like, you know, did y'all ever used to write letters back in the day to y'all favorite crush? I think that's the only time I actually wrote.
I used to write back.
So you got letters.
Oh,
My
you
bad.
got letters. Oh, you had like a whole box
My
of letters.
bad, pimp.
Yeah, you had.
Retired pimp.
Okay.
Don't know what you heard about me. Can't get a dollar out of me.
But no, those were the times for. I wonder if like kids nowadays have like notes or are their
called-
phones just so accessible to where they don't need to?
It's called
They
text
shooting you a
message.
text. That's
I
it.
mean, even at one point we had text. We had text messages. I was in the.
They're liking
we
their
had
pics
T9.
on Instagram.
Oh yeah, they
It's
got
called DMs. My bad.
DMs.
See, they don't really know that real. That's why I feel like they really can't find that intimacy that they want, because you got to think about how much did you really value this person to write that person, like, or how much did you walk by your favorite little she cute, and then you just like, okay, I'm gonna write her today. I remember the first time I wrote a letter, I told that girl I loved her because I was like, I just really liked her. I'll never forget her name. Hey, Shawana O'Neal. But yeah, I was in love.
I want to know how
with
that
her.
note hit you, Shawana.
Unless you have shoe boxes full of notes.
Did you do like the whole like
The
song,
shoebox.
soda, meal, like?
Yes. No, you. Hey, and yeah,
That
you,
was a
Big Brothers.
that's how it was. It was like, first of all, to, from, message, song, artist.
Then it was like, damn, you got a big ass. Just think about it, you got a big ass CD player with some big ass headphones on. Listen to that shit. While you-
Yeah, and then it'd be like message, drop.
You ain't lying though. Those notes was valuable. Like I'm not gonna lie. I still have some notes that were put in my locker as keepsakes. I don't have no text messages as keepsakes. Even if I screenshotted them, they don't mean nothing to me. I need that letter.
And that's what I feel like the younger generation don't get no more. Like they don't. Like I wrote my girl a whole letter because for Valentine's Day. Yes, I had some money, but I didn't have a lot. But it was just like she appreciated, and I sprayed it with my cologne.
I was
made
about
it
to say,
smell
put some
good.
cologne on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I kissed it, and then it was like she appreciated that way more than just us going out to dinner. Like people don't understand. Like chivalry ain't really dead, and I feel like that was kind of chivalrous of your crush. And some girls, what I'm saying, I got a couple of letters from girls too, and let me know when they was feeling me. So yes, I have my shoebox somewhere, but
Got your shoebox.
yeah.
Trey.
I mean, Trey, you got it.
Trey, you got a shoebox?
Nah, that shit's in trash. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I believe it.
I believe it.
April, how did those letters make you feel back in the day?
Honestly, I didn't keep any letters.
Really?
I didn't.
Why?
I just I was more of a tell me in person type of person because people couldn't spell.
All right. Let's talk about it.
Well, I
Yes.
might not have wanted him if he couldn't have spelled. I ain't gonna lie.
So trying to understand the innuendos and the language at that time, because people would write how they would talk. So it would make me mad.
She needed an
Where that
English
text come from?
What?
She needed an English teacher in that motherfucker.
Like people would write S's with 5s, and it would confuse me because I would be like, "What does this say?"
Oh, that was a blood.
Nigga be-
That's what it sounds like.
stuff like that. So I really didn't, and I didn't keep a whole lot of
What
notes.
was your boy?
I was more of an upfront person. Just tell me you like me, and I like you. That's it.
Let's be the
Go
easiest
from there.
shit.
We'll go
feel
from
you.
there.
I feel.
Oh man, you gotta show me some love, tender love and affection. You gotta show me something like, That's why I feel like today, like we're like, so I have a '90s vibe to me. That's what I feel like.
But
That's
wait, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But I will say that I had me and my friends wrote notes.
Yeah,
It wasn't
those notes
so much crushes. It was
passing notes.
passing information from class to class, but I was never like.
Niggas was post office people.
Yeah, it was literally you pass from this person, this person, this person, and hit them in 7 period. Like,
Nah, for real. But
That's what I
see,
got.
you was that person that everybody found out this person like you. Yeah, them letters was personal. Yes, you might have been a mailman, but guess what? You probably put together a lot of people. Oh, this person likes you because they don't want to say it. Because you was the person that went out and said it.
This thing you had tracking
I
on your
mean, just
notes.
when your friends just told you stuff in general, like just, hey girl, this is what's going on in my life. It was just notes, and you would then get out of school and get on the phone and talk about it later.
What is so funny, Trey?
No, I'm just thinking about the post like you had tracking on notes back in the day, like your notes in 7 period right now be delivered and they
Looking ass.
Because did y'all
Nigga,
not
the
put
text was on the
what
phone.
period you were in?
yeah. Thank
Yes.
you.
Like,
Yes,
when
yeah,
you
bring
wrote
it
the
to
note
life.
at the end, some people put the beginning and some people, but you would wrote it in first period,
Yeah.
and it should get to you by 6th
Thank
or
you.
7th or
Nah.
whatever it is.
You got the same class, you got same class shipping.
Man, listen here. Or
See now you playing around with the thought. Thank you.
Not the same question.
but I ain't gonna lie, for me, you know what I'm saying, because I learned this from my big cousin. Shout out TIP. He's like, if you really like somebody, fuck it, you gonna go up to her and give it yourself. Like, she gonna respect that more, and then everybody gonna get looking like, hey, he walked up to her.
You ain't lying, because that is
Yeah.
still something today. If a
It's the
man is
approach.
not willing to come up to me himself or my homegirl, don't come speak to me trying to get to
Hey,
my
my homeboy
homegirl.
went to holler.
I'm
No,
telling him
no,
to go
no,
talk
no.
to you.
What if you shy?
No.
Okay, well then I'm not the one for you.
You never
Fact.
know.
The
He,
only
he might just be
time
shy at the moment.
that I would let it pass is if my homegirl is not there.
Yes.
Okay.
If
Alright.
she's
Yes.
not there, then I'll be like, okay, let me see where her mindset is at.
But let's say me and April are out and April's right behind me and someone's trying to
friend,
talk
cute.
to April.
I would be
Hey,
like, go
you do
talk
the-
to her.
Right.
Because that's happened a few
And
times.
have
with
done
me and
it.
Dorothy.
Yeah.
So it's trip. So okay, so you talking about just like being out, or you saying like if I see your homegirl and I know you?
No,
and-
that's different.
Okay.
That's different.
You
I'm
sound
saying
was-
we in the same room because this, again, this
Oh,
has
no.
happened with me and April before multiple times. And it's like, why are you talking to me? Or April be like, why are you talking to me? Go
I'm like,
say
she's
something.
right there.
It's right there. So same thing with the note. Give me the note. Give me the note.
Give me the note. So it's like when you get that note, you feel like, dang, like it makes you more of a man in a sense, because it's like I came up to her. Rest of y'all keep talking about you like her, this and that. Like,
Now, if we've been exchanging notes for a little bit, then go ahead and slide it in my locker because it's
That.
just like a nice little surprise.
Did
the
anyone
Dropbox.
ever get a CD made for them? I got a couple CDs made for
The
me.
burn
What you
CDs
doing?
with the lime
What you
wire.
Did
doing
that
on
happen to
them?
anyone?
yeah,
Nah, hell nah, I
yeah,
ain't
just
know that.
because that showed you how they felt.
It was more of like
I ain't never got that.
the song playlist was like,
Yeah,
thank you, this is how I feel.
What he say on Friday? I ain't never had that before.
no,
I ain't no CD. Nigga,
What-
with a
what-
burn CD. You know
what
how much
year-
a CD used to cost?
boy, a pack.
Yeah.
Boy, Trey, I forget.
I'm about to say, but
How-
I
how
also
old
had a
you was you
brother
born?
who
I
burned
said it
CDs.
wasn't.
So
It was, huh?
What year was you born?
Hey man, we're gonna keep that secret.
No, you always want to talk about.
1998.
I'm born in the '90s.
Nigga, I was
You know what
too.
I'm saying? No, 90 what?
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. That's why you ain't never got no
after
CD.
us.
Hey, them-
I mean,
we was in
That-
school at the same time. He was the only nigga in the
That's
old
the
age.
crazy part about it. I'm 2 years older.
He's
than you,
single
and I went,
digits.
and I went to school with you.
That nigga got single digit graduation.
Yeah, but it's something about,
CD.
I don't know. It's
We just stuck
I don't
in our
know.
ways.
I feel like the social media era really kicked off around like 2009.
It was 2004.
9-ish.
Because you got to think about MySpace.
I mean,
Black
MySpace
Planet.
was cool.
Come on with
but
it.
I'm saying like the epic plunge into social media.
Oh yeah, head over heels.
Like it was kind of like a test of waters in the MySpace era. Like it was like, okay, we get on, okay, cool, then we would get off, and then we would go to games, we spend time together. But the absolute, I wouldn't say downfall, but the plunge into social media was right around my senior into my first freshman year in college. That's when it really took over.
Because that's when I got a
Not for real, because I agree. Like MySpace, that was a little test run and stuff. Which I miss MySpace. I ain't gonna lie.
I do too.
But
hey,
then,
top friends.
that.
Oh, that was
Man,
intense.
people paid you
But
to be
then
under
whenever it
construction.
got to that 2009, 2010, 2011, with the Facebook stuff, and it really started just turning everything, going into Twitter and all, and that's
when the realness of the takeover was. I call it that, the takeover.
Till this day, I still hate my old Facebook posts that come up every day.
same.
And I have about 5 of them bitches though. I be like,
I
oh
don't.
my God.
Like, shh.
I'd be reading my shit.
But I had that shit on though.
It makes me want to delete it and start it
It's what I
over.
was
But if I
typing.
delete it, I'm not getting another one. I'm
Yeah.
not, because I'm so tired of social media.
It's what I was typing.
We didn't know who we were and what
Yeah.
Facebook, because I remember Facebook was around. It just, you had to be in college, right?
I know who I was. Yeah, you had one the first
You had
game.
to be like a college student to get a Facebook, and then they open it up to
Had to get an
our
email.
age. Yes, and then it was insane from that point.
Yeah, I was a plum fool. Had all the Facebook games. Yeah, I remember you had the forward messages on with your phones.
That's crazy.
When like we had to flip phones and everything, you had like the forward messages
Oh
people
my
were seeing.
gosh.
I had a BlackBerry.
Oh, okay, Drake.
No, with the slide up,
Oh, my bad. Not
the keyboard, the
Sidekick.
whole
Yeah.
keyboard.
Let me tell you,
the
I
sidekick.
played with that BlackBerry so much, the letters was off of the little things.
You know what the hell you was typing?
Oh fuck that! Remember the Nokia?
Oh, with the
What would it
snake.
say? Shoot up a Nokia.
Because
was the goat.
man, listen here, I just want to get Nokia to play Snake.
Same.
I just want to get Nokia to play Snake.
I found it on the computer. It's not the
It's
same.
not the same.
It's not the
And
same.
then they got like little games like it, but it's like not the same. I don't want to collect dots and get big and crash into people. Like I want to crash into myself.
Right.
You know, an ongoing
You're
joke
your
that I
worst
use
enemy.
with the younger generation is, I always say, you don't even know what numbers are on number 7 on a phone. I mean, what letters?
I was about to say,
What
what?
letters?
Because I about to say,
You don't even know what
I
letters.
got what you would say.
I
I got
thought
what you
Yeah.
I was like, you went deep on that one. I was like, okay.
What letters on number 7? And they say, huh?
T9.
Because we had T9 texting.
I didn't know.
Around that
I did
time.
not know how to T9 to my high school sweetheart. Talking about, she was like, all you gotta do is press it twice. Like
Shout out to her.
she was roasting
Then
me.
we
I
had
was like,
limited
yo.
text. Remember that?
Man, I ran through
Free
mine
nights
so
and
fast.
So fast.
weekends.
So fast.
I think my mom gave me 100. Oh my God, it was gone.
I always went over my limit.
The first time
Every
I got
time.
a cell phone was my sophomore year, and then the next time I got a cell phone was my senior year.
Hold on,
I got
you
one my
broke-
sophomore
you
year,
broke the first phone.
I wasn't
I'm
fortunate, Trey, to
No, I'm not-
have a phone. So
No,
I'm
but
gonna
you said you had your
dig
first
she
one your
did.
sophomore year.
That's why I got it. And then they switched companies, and she was like, "I ain't paying for this shit, nigga." So I'm like, "All right."
Okay,
House
okay.
phone it is, about the 3-way, your motherfucking ass. Hey, Ray, what you up to? Oh, call mine. You know what I'm saying? Y'all forgot
After
about 3-way.
9. After 9 o'clock. But then you got to be quiet.
Yeah. Hey, y'all be quiet, my mama. And then you by the time you get on the phone with 2-3 people, you got 12 people on the fucking phone.
Yeah. Now you-
Exactly.
Just going live like that. That used to be the Zoom call.
Facts. When I got my own line for my room, I felt like I was on cloud 9. I mean, you couldn't tell me nothing. It was blue. It was almost see-through. I was popping.
My sister had one of those, for sure.
I used to stay on the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning talking about nothing, talking about
Man.
everything.
You on
Boy.
the phone with somebody else in the house, grab another house phone, just listening to your conversation.
I was saying some shit one time. My mom picked up the phone. She like, and I hang it up. Most awkward conversation ever. I'm just like, so I wonder, like, how long have you been listening to me?
What part did you exactly hear?
I think she heard. I think when she heard, like, oh, nigga, you sexually active.
This is what crossed the line.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, I ain't. But I'm thinking, why would you eavesdrop? That's like almost like you having phone sex with me, mama. Like, don't do that. Like, why did you do that? Like, why did you hold the phone that fucking long?
Mama changed the work schedule. She heard everything.
Man, I used to know my mom work schedule. That's the bad part about it. Like, and I will take responsibilities for some of the way these young people act, because you gotta understand, we did some shit.
Duh.
But we had more fun doing shit, and we were safer. Wasn't nobody coming up dead every week.
But even with the stuff, I mean, society, it just keeps changing. Like, we were able to go out until the street lights came on. Now, I would never send my daughter. Like, I wouldn't.
But you're an adult now, though. So.
I know, but it's like it's different.
It's
like,
still different.
You can't do that nowadays.
No, you can't.
Back then, we could do that. Even before us, our older siblings or, even aunts, young, whatever can do that. Our parents could do that. And, like, even with social media, it's crazy how intense stuff has gotten, because back, like, my two oldest sisters, so I got 3 older sisters. One is only 2 years older than me, so she's 31. But the other 2 were born in the 80s, the early 80s. So it's like they didn't have all this stuff with social media. There wasn't all these people like, record, making gifts or whatever you call them, and posting stuff and sharing and et cetera and talking about it. It's all word of mouth. They had their little whatever big ass phone, et cetera, but it wasn't how it is today. It's so easy to get receipts. It's so easy, like, so much that there's no privacy. Even whenever
Basically,
you think it's
everything
private.
Was word of mouth back then.
Yeah.
There's two
so
things
they were almost free. It was a sense of freedom. They had fun. Nowadays, you gotta watch every single thing you do and say
in person.
There's 2 things that I would say what happened was we're desensitized with social media. That we will literally watch a video of someone dying and go on about our day. Versus like
that shit fake.
Back in the night, no, it'd be
no.
real.
I'm saying, but people be that's what people brains be thinking.
And part of that, you can contribute it to a lot of different things. You can say movies, you can say social media, you can say a lot of different things, because we see people get blown away all the time in movies. So when we see it actually happen in person or on a video, it's like, oh, well, I saw that happen in a movie, so I've seen it before. So we're desensitized to the point of, instead of like literally helping somebody, we rather pick up a phone to get likes and views.
No, for real.
And you can take that as a good or a bad thing, whatever type of person you are. For me, it's not a good thing, but everybody is different. And then the second thing is there was a bliss about the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. There was just this glow about that time of
my white tee.
The technology boom that is so glorious to us late 80s, early 90s babies, because we got that perfect realm of the old and the new. So there was this glorious glow
for real,
about
for real,
that time.
For real.
And that's why everybody's so nostalgic about the 90s and the early 2000s, is because that time, you look at every culture of people in America. I can't speak for other countries, but you look at the white people, the black people, the Mexicans, like everybody had somebody on top. Like,
true.
Everybody was cool. We was listening to Britney Spears and Tupac. Like, name another time where
Daddy
you
Yankee.
could do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you were listening to Selena and all this, like, everybody was
like, she was
everything.
that popular. Yeah. You're right.
There was TV shows. Everybody was watching everything. Like, there was no time. There was nothing. There's never going to be another time like that. Ever.
Oh, what a time to be alive.
And so, yes. And so when that era sufficiently ended, I say around like 2001 kind of messed it up, because once the World Trade Center got hit
the
and all
world
that,
started pushing this
the world
agenda.
started pushing into a different direction, and it started to die off by like 2004 to like 2006, 7-ish. So that whole timeline, if you really break it down and think about it, it's almost scary, because after that is when people literally started hating each other. To the point to where we will literally, like, it's crazy when you really just sit down and think about it. And I mean, we've always hated each other, but
before the dawn of social media is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like,
that technology boom was so fun that when it actually boomed and it took over, it's not fun.
And think
anymore.
about it. Kids start having Facebooks.
Yeah.
Like little kids. Like, I mean, I remember I was 21, and my nephew, he was like 6, 7. He had a whole. He had a Facebook. I'm just like, boy, I'm not adding you.
Yeah, and it's also, I feel like it's very dangerous to allow young children to be so. I mean, I feel like there needs to be balance. And I'm thankful that a lot of my friends balance with their kids, like I know Dorothy does. And, you know, they balance with their kids because some parents, like I will literally, you know, I work in a restaurant. So
that's
like,
all they doing.
They just hand them a tablet and they don't talk. Like everybody's on their phone.
You're making them a weirdo.
You wonder why nobody has connections anymore. It's because
social skills.
These kids, like they everybody said, oh, these kids so bad and these kids is. Well, look what you did when we were in 2012. Like when they were born and they were kids, you just sat them in front of a TV, you handed them a tablet and told them to be quiet.
Mm-hmm. I used
so
to have
now
to
they
tell
have
my
no
brother
social
stop
skills.
doing it.
Yeah, they have
I
social
told him,
skills.
I said, bro, you can't keep doing that to them. And like, he's older than me, of course. I'm not going to mention one. I got a lot of them. But he was like, man, you right. Because at the end of the day, if I keep doing it, then they're not going to understand me when I say the simplest task to do. Like,
yeah.
Man.
And it's not just tasks, it's just people skills in general.
Exactly.
Like they don't know how to function when they don't have their phones. That's why when I've talked about the whole uproar with the kids and phones, like in schools and stuff, I'm like, why is this a problem?
Because we
What's
didn't.
the problem?
You know what the problem is? That's what they're, like you said, they give their parents give them.
They're
Here you go.
addicted.
Like we didn't
Now
have
their
that
parents
growing
actually
up.
have to talk to them. They're upset about it. Like you
Nowadays-
actually have to talk to your kid. I'm sorry.
Nowadays in school, like my daughter, she's in first grade now, but even in kindergarten, they have tablets that they assign to them in school. So it's like technology is pushed upon them to a certain extent. And it's like just how like we had our technology and everything, they're having theirs, and it's just taken away from reality. And it's terrible. I remember whenever I was younger and my grandpa and my mom, and then they would be like, hey, well, let's, yes, there's this, but let's learn the old school way, because you never know
when you have to go
when
back.
you have to go back to it.
Yeah.
And you're going to be stuck. So that's like even with my daughter, like aside from anything else, like aside from just like the social media aspect of it, no, get off your phone. Let's go learn this. Go outside. Go play. Go be a kid. Go do this, that, and the third. Because, I mean, yes, it sucks that we are so reliable on these phones now. I hate phones. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm a terrible communicator on it. I'm great in person. Social media, no, don't talk to me on there. It'd be pointless, basically, at this point. But we rely on them so much, like it's a crutch, and it should not be that way at all. We're still human. We're not robots. They want us to be robots.
I mean, it was
that's
fun when
what
we
it's
were
coming
growing
to.
up because we would get on the phone and then we would get off the phone and we would go hang with people and we would hang with our cousins and go down the street to the park and sit in the park for hours and talk.
That's back in the day when you had to go to the park to see if someone was at the park.
Yes.
Like you come to the park. That's what I feel like a lot of
Ring the
texting and
doorbell.
social media came, like, because now the question is, who all there?
Yes.
Back in the day, you couldn't check to see who was all there. You either had to
just had
show
to
up
go.
like, okay, like back when the skating ring was popping,
But that's why
nobody
everything
knew, but
was
we
popping.
knew during school, like, hey, you going to the skating? It's like people make plans during the week. People don't make plans during the week. They know shit is going on, but they're not like, oh, I'm planning to do this. Like,
But that's why I feel like that's why everything was so popping back then, because everybody literally just had to show up. Like you couldn't take a video. You couldn't be like, oh, it's dead in here. Let me post this.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like everybody literally just had to come and parking lot pimp for 20 minutes and then
make your own
come
fun.
in. Make your own fun. It wasn't about like, oh, well, ain't nobody there, so I ain't going in. The best times that I've had in clubs is when it's like 30 people there. Like
No,
it's
for
crazy. It'd be so much fun.
because they
I just
want to
be
be there.
yeah, and I said, do y'all go to enjoy yourself with your friends, or do y'all go to be seen? Like most of the time, people go to be seen, and that's okay too. But save those for the holidays. Like, don't text me while I'm in the middle of partying and be like, "Oh, who all in there?" Hold on, let me stop and count how many people are here.
That's how bad social media is, just because of this reason. How many people actually use their actual camera?
Mm.
How many people actually use the actual camera? Like I use mine. I'm not gonna sit here. I don't know. But how many people actually use their camera? You use a social media app to take your pictures. There's filters and all this shit now. Like you use a social media picture to take a picture. Like I'm not gonna lie. I will go to Snapchat before I go to my actual camera.
That is true. Although I dislike technology and it's going there, et cetera, et cetera, I do love my Snapchat camera, video, all that. The only time that I use my actual camera is for work. That's it.
Yeah.
For work.
When I have to use it. Yeah, like when I have to take pictures like sites and everything like that.
Boy, I still use that Snapchat. Boy, I chop you.
But there are benefits to social media, though.
Yeah.
There are a lot of benefits to social media. It's
keeps
not all
people
bad.
in touch.
It keeps people in touch. It stays connected. You can use it for business. You can use it for promotions. You can use it for a lot of good things too. But I tell people, I say, you just have to balance it. Like you can't, like wake up in the morning, go downstairs. Well, for me, go downstairs, but go downstairs, drink a cup of water, walk outside before you pick up your phone, and just intake in the day before you say a prayer first, like before
Trey.
you just pick up your phone.
What are your thoughts? Because you're shaking
And
your head a
don't
lot.
sit here and
So
say
what-
you don't like, you can always play devil advocate on my
most
podcast.
definitely. Most definitely.
So I know
He's
you're
not
going.
playing. He is.
That's the thing.
That's how
You
you
can't
feel.
judge a book by its cover.
Nah, just like social media is whatever you make it. Like whatever you intake on your social media, whatever you looking at, because there's some geniuses that have been made off social media because the stuff they're educating themselves looking at. There's some dumbasses that have been on social media because it's what they look at. So this is what the kids grew up with. So that's just like the shit we grew up with. And then is a point in time where your parents used to tell you, back in the day, we used to, this stuff y'all got now, it all recycles itself. That's all it is. We're just at the age now to where we look at kids
Back in
like,
my day.
back in my day, that's all it is.
I look at
good
people
point.
my age, and I'm like,
Like-
bro, you might need to log out for a few days.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
that's just
You're
what it is.
consumed.
But you gotta
Like-
understand. Like I get what you're saying because you saying if some of our parents had social media, or some of the people we went to school parents had social media, it would show how the motherfuckers act.
They do. I see it now.
Yeah.
Hell, even when I go to my
Now
Facebook.
you see it.
No, even when I go to my Facebook, I see how many posts I used to post. I was like, boy, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Talking about a kid, but I used to do the same. You only know what you know. Like
But you know what your parent teaches you at the same time.
Yeah, no, then that's what I'm saying.
And
but
if
like
you choose to try to act, I'm gonna act harder than what I am, then that's you.
It goes back. What do you use those social media for? Like every era had they bad shit. You had the crack era. You had race. Like every era had they shit where
Still
you
got
like
racism.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But you had burn down the Black Rock, like Wall Street, like all these different areas had something where it was like, oh my God, this is a terrible time. But it's always light in all those areas too. So it's just whatever you use your social media is how you use it. Like,
No, I agree. And whether or not you like it or dislike it,
I tell people
you
just
have
balance.
to. You have to roll with it. It's
That's
like
life.
we talked about earlier. Like you either gonna roll with the storm, you're gonna get left behind. You either gonna roll with the trend or get left behind. And it's, unfortunately, we are in that day and
Podcast
age.
person that did it himself. God damn.
It'd be like that's a time. We're in that day of age of that stuff. So
but like you
you
just
just gotta balance.
Yeah, like you just said though, that's life. And if you balance your shit, your life is pretty.
I just wish
Hello.
everybody would try to balance.
Nah,
But that's the thing.
You
Like
start seeing the dumbass.
that's when I get what he's saying without getting what he's saying. He's saying basically, some
I get
people
what
ain't
he's
taught to
saying.
do that shit.
Yeah.
Like some people are not taught to like, okay, let me balance this out. Let me do this. Like some people are realize this is what I seen
24/7.
growing up. This is what I know, and this is all I know. And some people grow up and be like, you know what, this is what I seen, this is what I know, but that shit ain't right. That shit I've been taught ain't right. Like, I think that's what's wrong with this generation now, because our generation, like a lot of our people, sorry, y'all are fucked up. I'm fucked up a little bit, But a lot of our people, I gotta say, we as a whole are fucked up because they don't understand, like, some of this shit ain't real, bro. Like, you have to get a job. You have to go to work every day. Or you're gonna be a thief. You're gonna be a killer. You're gonna be a gangster. Like, some choices you choose to do. Like, after you grown,
Everybody got a choice.
like, your mama, like, okay, I'm gonna tell you this. When a kid's little, that kid is a whole sponge, whole flower. Whatever's being watered into that child is going to that's what that child is going to grow. If that child has never been watered to nothing, it's probably going to grow up nothing. But once you are a adult, I will say this because they always say this: ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you growing up and getting old to a point where, you don't know, find out. Like, I encourage, like, kids, but because sometimes parents won't teach you everything because they can only teach you what they know. Thank y'all for tuning in to
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Make sure you
Like,
subscribe,
and follow
wherever you get your podcast from.
That's right, Otis. Whatever you say, Otis.
It's been real. It's your boy OT,
and Miss Dorothy.
and we'll see you on the next episode of
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Y'all ain't stupid. They coming to see me.